That is some nice weather. It's also a big tide today, but we're going to go out and we're going to have another last look. It's probably going to be our last dive on the Rontegui this year, so got to make the most of this weather. It's now the 22nd of September and it's actually still decent weather.
Okay.
Right, then the summary for the Rontegui. This is what we've done last time, so this is just a catch up.
This is the cartoon assisted drawing. Okay, we know the props here. This is where we've been tying in for the last few dives. And the last time, I think, Phil, you went right up round the back
right
here,
so right, yeah,
and couldn't find anything much behind the head where we tie in. However, we did find, I think JP found some winches around here. So I think it'd be a good idea today to move up and up here, see if we can tie in where the winches are.
Yep.
The anchor certainly isn't there. It could be the anchor is out here, and we've got a boiler to find, which is still elusive. Yeah, which for something probably through best part of 3/4 of an inch thick is a bit unbelievable, really, but it's there somewhere. So that's the plan. We'll try and tie in on the winches and
middle head and move our way north.
And even behind. Now, from what Lee said when he did his drift out into nowhere, right up out here until it actually breaks and goes into the sand, he was still seeing bits of plate and stuff.
Did he?
Yeah, no,
it was all the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it really is spread out.
So I'm wondering then, if, like you say, we've got reports of possibly an anchor out, and they said, I wonder if she came in, hit the reef and swam around like that on a nor'wester.
I think what we're seeing here is the debris after, because it was dried and it was on its side and all sorts of
just
stuff.
Smashed up.
So it could be any of these that it hit and it rammed and swung around and sunk eventually.
Yeah.
Do go careful out here, because it's a big tide today, and if you get out here, then you could find you're in for a surprise drift.
Yeah.
So take a bit of care today.
Yeah.
Other than that,
let's do it.
Let's go for it. The heads are well out the water now. We're on a big tide, and we still got a while to go yet for low tide. How long we got till low tide, Paul?
Another 30 minutes.
So yeah, another 30 minutes. So you see a few more inches sticking out. Oh, look at it. You can see how bad it actually is now. What we got here headwise: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, possibly 8 that come out the water. Good thing is we got a force 2 easterly at the moment, so that's basically going to hold us away from these rocks once we've anchored up. Phil's going to go down and do the business and tie in again, but we've got to wait because it's still not slack water yet. We are right in, super close now, so the propeller and shaft and stuff will be down here somewhere. The pool's actually going to go in. It's going to go inside.
I think there's a couple of little heads behind the back, Paul. Yeah, just tucked up in there.
So we are literally right in the middle here, between the two heads. Yeah, he's got his confidence up now. Yeah, your weight belt's on, mate. Down the side of the engine box. That was a tiny bit of swell rolling over them rocks, that's why you're getting this white water. And so we're going in and around here. And again, rocks. Look how shallow it is here. I'm sure I've just seen a bass swim past then. I'm sure I've just seen a bass swim past, yeah. Something silvery down there. It's quite shallow. 4.3 metres, 4.2 metres.
Yeah, we draw about a metre off, best part of a metre off that. Oh yeah, you can see it.
So Phil,
See it, yeah.
what's the dive plan here?
You can see the bottom here, look boys and girls.
You're going to go in and tie in, or are you going to just...
Yeah.
Phil, go in and we'll tie in, like Paul said, we're going to tie into the winch parts which are over here somewhere.
Where were they? Were they at the end of the...
I swam past here towards this reef. I come out and I was out, I don't know, here somewhere. Paul's got the numbers. Yeah.
I can. We're going to tie the boat trip, Paul.
Yeah, I want to tie in. Okay. I'd like to tie into that winch.
Okay.
So I can try and, well, it was marked last time, so it's on the plotter, so if I drop you on top of that, try and tie in. Give us a good signal when you found it though, because there's a long rope on that.
Okay, I'll put it right in. Give us a bit, you can come in with me if you want.
Either that or wait for him to be tied in.
Tied in, yeah. Yeah, wait for me to tie in rather than then.
Okay.
Come down with JT on it.
No, slightly there.
Okay.
This is good.
Fingers crossed.
As we descend back down to the shipwreck, I get a little bit worried because the visibility looks horrendous. Very milky and very dusty. Phil hasn't tied into the winches, but he's found something else which is nice and heavy. This looks like the side of a boat. Look at the state of the viz. Now I quickly realise it's just other divers that have kicked up a bit of dust. Trying to figure out where I am or if I've seen this bit of wreck before. Large plates, ribs, huge sections of round pipe. This is definitely a new piece of the ship I've never seen before. It's so hard to figure out where I am with the weed moving constantly. Someone's been here before, because you can see there's stipes that have been snapped or ripped off. It could have only been us, because it hasn't been a storm for a while. This looks like the corner of a combing. On the edge of holds they used to have these really big, dense pieces of metal that formed a large rectangle. So if this is a combing of a hold, we could be midships. It works out about right. This looks like a winch. This winch could have run a derrick crane which filled up the hold. There's just so much concretion on all of this shipwreck. It's minerals that bond together over time, especially underwater. This looks like a pipe, a steam pipe possibly. Yeah, I think that was just I'm sure that's a winch. It's been smashed up though. This part looks like the inside of a round tube. The top's been smashed off of it, and there's gravel that's filled up the inside of this tube. This could have been maybe a base for a derrick of a crane. This looks like the base of the end of a pipe, maybe an outrigger or some sort of support. The more I explore on this shipwreck, the more I wish I had a photograph of the vessel itself so I can compare. For this, I'm going to have to do some more research. The chances of finding an image from the 1880s of a steamer is very slim, so I'm going to have to go back to basics and figure out which port she would have been in, and then see if there's some images of that port with the vessel in the background. It's a very slim chance that we'll do it, but let's try it anyway. First task is to laboriously read through every newspaper and check the arrivals on the shipping intelligence and see which port it was in at what date. Then compile a list and have a look which port it was in. So from this, it looks like it's in Bilbao quite a lot. Get an eye and ore. So let's search there first. So why Bilbao? Bilbao originated as a settlement of seafaring people on the banks of the Nevarons estuary. The inhabitants began to export both the iron found in large quantities along the river's eastern bank and the products of the ironworks, which became well known in Europe. Situated in northern Spain, it's the largest city in the province of Biscay. Mining and ironworks is the main and most abundant raw material found in Biscay, and its extraction has been legally regulated since 1526. These are some images from the 1880s or thereabouts. You can see they all kind of match what we're looking for. Quite large vessels, no more than 800 tons. Check this one out. Check out the propeller and the rudder. Could this well be the Rontegui? It's hard to say, but I don't think so. This one's more of 1,000 tons. The ship's name itself, is it Rontegui or Rontegui? The name of a ship can open up all sorts of avenues of research. I've looked up Rontegui or Rontegui, and believe it or not, it's a region in Bilbao. So would you say it in French or would you say it in Spanish? You'd probably say it in French because it was the French that actually built it. So, a little bit more research, and let's see if we can find out when it was launched. Previous research pointed to April 1879, and a quick scout of the papers of the time in the Shipping and Mercantile Gazette, I found it. All the facts are coming together now. It was built in 1879 by Forget et Chantier Company, and its name was Rontegui. We also know it is built for Denane Ironworks, which is here, just down from Dunkirk. Today, the search is still on for an image of the Rontegui. Something I recognise from the last dive. This is a long length of pipe. I recognise it because there's some pot rope that's wrapped around it. I think I've got my bearings now. I'm just to the west of the engine. The engine's behind me at the moment, probably 6-7 metres away. Back onto the large plates where Phil's tied in. I've basically gone easterly along it and then turned right to go down to the south, swum around the south and then back again to the north. So I'm back pretty much where I started. This piece of metal is absolutely huge. It almost looks like one of them sort of derricks that hold the lifeboats up. It just stops in the end on a square plate. This is as far as east as I've been on it, and it seems to stop. So I turn around and start swimming back towards the west. I should come up to the shot line soon. I don't feel like I've achieved much on this bit of the dive. I feel that all I've done is expose a large, maybe deck, maybe side of a boat. Over my left shoulder, probably 10 metres away, I should see the engine. A further 20 metres over my left shoulder, I should see the stern and the propeller. I just really don't know what's over my right shoulder though. So that's the bit I want to explore next. I just want to check how far these large plates go out to the west from our shot line. Out to the west is taking me into deeper water and towards the sand. It's probably only another 6 or 7 metres before I hit the sand. There is little elements of the wreck, but not much. Not as much as I'd be expecting to be heading out into the sand. Oh well, I think what I'm going to do, I've been in the water 52, 53 minutes. I think what I need to do is just go back up onto the boat, have a little think of what I'm going to do next, have a little look and plan out my next area I want to dive. Oh, before I go up, I just need to check which way these plates are running. They're pretty much running north, east, east maybe. Yeah, I'm on the boat, mate. So, Paul's found the pair of anchors, which is good. So this is where it is. He's just sending his lift bag up, and it was on the second head. So here's the first head, and you can tell the tide's starting to come up now because we're starting to lose these heads. We're starting to lose a bit of slack water, so they're going to go in. Phil's taking my camera, do a little bit of footage, and there you can tell the boat wants to go that way. So Paul's coming back, but I literally cleared up all through here, took all the kelp off. And it's, I think that's the ship with the propeller facing that way. This is the ship through here. I think this is the side of the ship that's come off. And there's bits of winches and bits and bobs. But now knowing the anchors are over there, the bell must be going that way. So you found the anchors?
Pair of anchors.
Beautiful. That's what we've been after.
They're lovely as well.
Yeah. So Phil's just going to go down with Jan and have a little look. I was just commenting, the tide is starting to turn.
Yeah, it is.
So, but I'll get in and have a little look.
You want footage of those?
Yeah. Phil's taking my camera with him now, but I want to have a look myself, so I'll pop down. Hopefully they're not too long.
Well, you can go.
It's interesting. Oh yeah, I can do now, yeah. So let's get my gear back on again. So I've done an hour in the water. I've done my 6-minute surface interval. It's only shallow water. So anyway, let's get back down there. What's this thing here? Almost like a hinge. This must be used to lift the anchors, possibly. Right up the front, what we seem to have is a small cranked derrick with some pulley blocks on. So there's a couple of pulley blocks. There's one here, and there's one just to my right. So glad Paul found these anchors. They're awesome. They're big as well. Just think, these are less than a year old when they were lost. Probably only used a dozen, maybe 20 times. These are definitely the same anchors that Colin Markey told Paul Cario about. It's even still got the pot rope on the stock. If you notice, there's no chain actually connected to the anchors. I don't know if it rotted off, but there is chain around the anchor area. This is encrusted anchor chain. From what I can see, it looks very similar to this pattern of chain. Oh, Phil's found the massive anchor winch. This is a beaut, it's absolutely humongous. This would have almost certainly been used to weigh the anchors. The owners were M. Hutter, engineers of Dunkirk. I can hear Jen, she wants me for something. What Jen has found here is a closed chuck fair lead. This is where a mooring line would have passed through it. This would have been found in the bulwarks of the boat, right up the bow. So much more I want to see around here, so much more I want to explore, but I'm running out of air, so I have to go back up to the surface. It's time I untied our shot line, return to the surface. Right, we found the anchors. I say anchors because we only thought there was one anchor, but Paul ended up finding two anchors. That's definitely the bell.
Yeah, definitely has to be.
What else did you see?
Alongside the anchors were a huge, great big anchor winch. It's on steroids, just a monster. And then I think Jen's found some fair leads for the bow.
For a rope, hey? It was like that. It looked like a sink, but it's actually, I believe, it's fairly for the rope to come through.
Yeah.
And then he saw a whole pile of chain.
Yeah, chain.
Oh, did
Really
you see the
thick
chain as well?
Yeah, piles of chain.
Yeah, I think I filmed the bits of chain that
I
were leading
think
from the anchors.
the find of the day goes to the captain for finding the anchors, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that just made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done, Paul. So, you found them. How did you find them? Take us through it.
Well, I was following a lump of what appeared to be keel or rib, and I hit my head on something, and it turned out it was the fluke of the anchor. So, you know, even a blind squirrel finds the occasional nut.
Well, that's it now. That's our fourth and final for the Rontegui. I enjoyed it. It's exciting, eh? Going down and
Been an adventure.
rediscovering. It has been an
adventure.
adventure.
Slowly uncovering it piece by piece.
Yeah,
Making most of the nice autumn day.
exactly. You
Sun's
can't-
out.
The weather's amazing. So that's it. We're going to head back now. Hope you enjoyed that. The rediscovery of the Rontegui. I certainly did.
Been an amazing 4 dives.
Yep, and now that's it, probably for the season. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get some more diving out this side, but this is an exceedingly nice day,
Coming to an
considering
end.
22nd of September.
Whew, cooled off. Hot autumn day. Alright.
So, summary of what we've found out so far
What, today? Or
today. Yeah.
Today, you were spot on with your marks.
yeah, it was a
Pretty much spot on.
lucky dip, eh?
Yep.
So, found the anchors. Well, Paul
2.
found the anchors, and
Yeah.
there's not just one. We've got a bonus anchor as well, so there's 2 of it. So, Paul, just tell us what we've done today.
Well, we started off by tying in somewhere around here on a piece of keel, and the keel, we kept finding bits of keel running. Do you reckon this way, guys?
No, I think more like this.
Yeah, I had
This way.
an easterly.
Yeah.
I cleaned up a whole load
Yeah.
up the
Up
east,
this way.
Yeah.
and it was just plate all the way.
And lots of ribs, eh?
Lots of ribs.
Yeah, lots of ribs.
This anchor's not here, it's out here, like we
Well,
said.
it's actually here, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's the dead west of this
yeah.
this boo here.
And then out on the sun, the seaweed line stops here, and out on the sand you can still see remnants of shipwreck buried in the sand.
Yeah, down this.
Yeah.
Did you say, Phil, you seen a load of keel out on the sand
Bits
over
and
here?
pieces out here and here. There's 2 pieces. Yes.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
yeah,
And certainly there's steel wreckage right up against this one
Yeah.
and against all of this one as well.
Bits of chain in here.
Oh yeah,
Bits of chain,
uh,
just in a big pile.
big pile of
Yeah.
chain here,
Yeah.
That big rope
and the winches.
Halfway between here and here. So just yeah.
So there
Yeah.
was a double winch or a single.
it was a massive drum. We only really looked at one side, but I think it continued. Is in this direction, wasn't it, Phil?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the end was a big one in here.
And what was that
Fair lead.
fair lead for the,
Oh,
for
the
the
fair
rope that
lead
I
as well.
found?
So Jen
Just
found
by-
this fair lead, which is here, which looks
Big.
like a
Looked like a sink at
yeah.
first, eh? But then when you look at it, it's
Yeah.
a lot deeper and
it's like a stretched donut.
yeah, that's right.
So
And this anchor has still got the pot rope that Colin Barkey told us about.
There's two, there's
so-
two
Bit-
anchors
bits
down
of
there.
his, bits
so
of
that
his
wasn't
pot,
a maritime myth. That
bits
actually
of-
happened,
Bits of his pot rope is still
and we
there.
actually found it. So, but I think that's it for the Rontegui. We've summarised as much as we can. There is a load more to look at, but it is just covered in weed. But hope you enjoyed that one.
Been a very enjoyable project.
Yeah. So, anything you want to mention about it, Jen?
It was just a nice opportunity to dive something new and obviously finding out the history.
Yeah, Phil.
And I'd say the icing on the cake was finding the anchors.
Yeah, that's all I
Yeah,
enjoyed.
Same. The icing on the cake was Paul's find of the
The
anchors.
anchors. I enjoyed our first dive.
Yeah.
First dive when we found the engine, and then we found the propeller, and then the next dive after that was the general looking around, and then we end up, I say we finished on a high. We found them big anchors.
Definitely finished on the high. Yeah. Prop to start with, anchors to finish.
Yeah, so we know roughly where it is. Anything you want to add to it, Paul?
Yeah, where's the boiler?
Where is the boiler? That could be part 5 for next season.
Next year.
2022, watch this space.
Watch this space.
Okay, thanks for coming along with us. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you on the next tide.
Awesome.
So this is the area we looked at today. We're down the centre. We've also found the anchors and the winch, and also a fair lead. One thing we haven't looked at is the square rock and the boiler.